Hello students, in this video we are going to solve the textbook exercise for chapter 4. The chapter name is Heat, class 7, subject Science, NCERT. So before starting the exercise, let me recall what we had learned in this chapter. So we had seen about the temperature first. So the degree of hotness or coldness of any object is called its temperature. Then we had seen that whether an object is hot or cold is known by its temperature. We can say that by its temperature. Then we had seen that how the temperature of any substance increases or decreases. So temperature of a substance increases on giving heat to that substance, and the temperature of a substance decreases on absorbing heat from that substance. Then we had seen about the instrument which is used to measure the temperature. So the instrument to measure the temperature of an object is called the thermometer. And we had seen different types of thermometer. So the thermometer that measures our body temperature is called a clinical thermometer or doctor's thermometer. Then we had seen the range of this clinical thermometer. So clinical thermometer can measure temperature from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius, and in Fahrenheit scale it's from 94 degree Fahrenheit to 108 degree Fahrenheit. Then we had seen normal human body temperature. So the normal temperature of the human body is 37 degrees Celsius, and in Fahrenheit scale it's a 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. Then we had seen the another type of thermometer, that is laboratory thermometer. So the thermometer which is used in laboratory is known as laboratory thermometer, and the range of this thermometer is usually from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Then we had seen about maximum and minimum thermometer. So the thermometer which is used to measure the maximum and minimum temperature of the day is known as the maximum minimum thermometer. In clinical thermometer we had seen there is a kink, or you can say constriction, that is near the bulb of mercury, and the kink prevents mercury level falling down. It is there in the clinical thermometer, but it is not present in the laboratory thermometer. Then we had seen the transfer of heat, how this transfer of heat take place and by which method this transfer of heat take place. So the heat flows from a body at a higher temperature to a body at the lower temperature, and that is why hot tea becomes cold due to the flowing of heat in the atmosphere. And on heating one end of an aluminium rod with the flame of a candle, heat flows from its nearer end to the far off end. We had seen that thing through one activity. So the process of transfer of heat from the hot end of a solid object towards the cold end is known as the conduction. And the solid substance like metals become hot due to the process of conduction. Then we had seen about conductors and poor conductors, good conductors and poor conductors. So good conductors of heat, in that we had seen substance through which conduction of heat take place easily are called the good conductors of heat, and the example of this kind of substance are metals like copper, silver, aluminium, iron, etc. are the good conductors of heat. Then we had seen poor conductors of heat, or you can say insulators. So the materials which do not allow heat to pass through them easily are called the poor conductors of the heat or insulators. And the example of insulators are wood, plastic, ebonite, leather, wool, glass, rubber, etc. are the poor conductors of heat. Then we had seen the next method through which heat is transferred. So in heating the vessel containing water, water gets heated in the vessel, and this mode of heat transfer is known as the convection. So liquid and gaseous substance get heated by the mode of transfer of heat, that is called convection. And mercury, there is one exceptional case, that is with mercury, that mercury is a liquid even though it gets heated by the mode of transfer of heat called the conduction. The convection doesn't take place in the mercury, it is get heated by the process of conduction. Then we had seen about land bridge and sea bridge. So in coastal region, sea bridge during the day and land bridge during the night occurs due to the convection, due to the heat transfer in the air. And from the sun, heat comes to us by the process of known as the radiation. So this is the third method of the transfer of heat. And in this method, the transfer of heat by radiation does not require any medium. That's why the heat from the sun comes to us by this process. Then we had seen that dark color objects absorb radiation better or heat better than light color object. And this is the reason why we feel more comfortable in light color clothes in the summer season. And woolen clothes keeps us warm during the winter. It is because wool is the poor conductor of heat and it has the air trap between the fibers, in between the fibers of the woolen. And normally heat is more absorbed by black object compared to the white object, that we had also seen by one activity. So now let we start the exercise, textbook exercise solution for this chapter. So here the first question is given to you. So the first question is, state similarities and differences between the laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer. So let me first see what is the similarities between the laboratory thermometer and the clinical thermometer. So in similarities, first similarities is working principle of both the thermometer is same. In both the thermometer, its working principle is the same. Then both are used to measure the temperature. That working is, what is the working principle of these two thermometers are to measure the temperature. So both are used to measure the temperature. Next is, both have a thick wall glass tube which is enclosing a fine uniform bore capillary tube. Bore capillary tube, that means a hollow tube in which there is the space, thin space like the hair, and it is enclosed by the thick glass wall tube. So the construction is almost same in both of these kind of thermometer. That is thin tube which is hollow inside, and in hollow space there is the mercury. Next similarity is, mercury is used in both the thermometers to measure the temperature. In both the thermometers, mercury is used. And then next is, both have Celsius and Fahrenheit markings. In this type of thermometers, there is the both the scales marking are there, that is Celsius and Fahrenheit. And you can also say that in both the thermometers there would be a construction like a bulb at one end of the tube, that we had seen in the figure, that in both the thermometers there is the bulb like construction at one end of the thermometers. So these are the similarities between these two thermometers. Now let me see what is the differences between these thermometers. So first difference is, laboratory thermometer is used to measure temperature of different objects in the factories and laboratory, whereas clinical thermometer is used to measure the temperature of the human body only. So with the help of clinical thermometer, we can measure the temperature of human body only. We cannot measure the temperature of different other objects. And with the help of laboratory thermometer, we can measure the temperature of the different objects in the laboratory as well as in the factories also. The next difference is, generally laboratory thermometer has temperature range from -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius, whereas clinical thermometer has the temperature range from the 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. In the clinical thermometer, as it measures the temperature of human body only, the range is low. So it is 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. And laboratory thermometer can measure the temperature of various objects. So its measuring range is wide, that is minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Next is usually laboratory thermometer does not have any constriction, whereas clinical thermometer has the small constriction near the mercury bulb. As we have seen that clinical thermometer has the small constriction, or you can say kink, near the mercury bulb, and it prevents the temperature from falling down or the measurement from falling down. So it has the kink like structure, and whereas in the laboratory thermometer it doesn't have kink. So that is also difference between these two thermometers. Next is laboratory thermometer has to be kept upright while taking the reading, whereas clinical thermometer can be tilted while taking reading. As we had seen in the clinical thermometer, there is the kink, so we can tilt this thermometer while taking the reading, so that we are putting this thermometer in our mouth, so it is tilted. At that time it is tilted, and we can also however measure the temperature as it has kink or constriction called kink. Whereas in the laboratory thermometer such kind of constriction or kink is not there, so we have to keep this kind of thermometer kept upright while taking the reading, so that its temperature level not fall down. So these are the similarities and differences between these two clinical and laboratory thermometers. Now next question is, give two examples each of conductors and insulators of heat. So first let we see conductors of heat. So metals, most of the metals, that is copper, aluminum and iron, are the good conductors of heat. Next is insulator. So the material like wood, water and air are the poor conductor, or you can say insulators of heat. So these are the examples of conductors and insulators of heat. Next question 3 is fill in the blanks. So first blank is, the hotness of an object is determined by its blank. So as earlier we had seen that the hotness or coldness of an object is determined by its temperature. So your answer is temperature. Next is, temperature of boiling water cannot be measured by a blank thermometer. So the temperature of the boiling water cannot be measured by a clinical thermometer. It can be measured by the laboratory thermometer, because clinical thermometer is used only to measure the temperature of the human body. So the answer is clinical thermometer. Next is, temperature is measured in degree blank. So the temperature is measured in degrees Celsius. So the answer is Celsius. Next is, no medium is required for transfer of heat by the process of blank. In which process we do not require the medium for transfer of heat? So the answer is radiation. In radiation process we do not require medium for the transfer of heat. Next is, a cold steel spoon is dipped in a cup of hot milk and it transfers heat to its other end by the process of blank. So it transfers the heat by the process of conduction. As we had seen in most of the metal, the transfer of heat takes place by the process of conduction. So your answer is conduction. Next is, clothes of blank colors absorb heat better than the clothes of light colors. So your answer is dark. Clothes of dark colors absorb heat better than the clothes of light colors. So now let me check the answers. So here the answers are given to you. The hotness of an object is determined by its temperature. We can know about the hotness or coldness of an object by its temperature. Next is, the temperature of boiling water cannot be measured by a clinical thermometer. We cannot measure the temperature of boiling water by the clinical thermometer. Next is, temperature is measured in the degree Celsius. Earlier it was used degree Fahrenheit, but now mostly we are using the unit, that is degree Celsius. Next is, no medium is required for transfer of heat by the process of radiation. The next is a cold steel spoon is dipped in a cup of hot milk and it transfers heat to its other end by the process of conduction. Last one, the clothes of dark colors absorb heat better than the clothes of light colors. So your answer is dark. Now next is matching. So in the matching, first it's given to you land breeze blows during. So your answer is night. During night times land breeze blows from land to sea, and sea breeze blows during the daytime. So your answer is option C, day. Next is dark colored clothes are preferred during. So we are preferring these dark color clothes during winter season. So your answer is winter, and light color clothes are preferred during the summer season and it absorb less amount of heat as compared to the dark color clothes. So your answer is summer. So these are your answer. Here answers are given to you. Land breeze blows during night, sea breeze blows during day, dark color clothes are preferred during winter season, and light color clothes are preferred during summer season. So these are the answers of your matching. Now next question. Question number 5. Discuss why wearing more layers of clothing during winter keeps us warmer than the wearing just one thick piece of clothing. This reason we had seen at the end of this chapter. So the answer is given to you. The air gets trapped between two layers of warm clothes. If we are wearing two layers or more than one layers of clothes, so the air gets trapped between the two layers of that warm clothes, and air act as the insulator of heat. As we had seen, air is the insulator of heat. So this layer of air prevents our body heat to escape in the surrounding, and more layers of thin clothes will allow more air to get trapped, and as a result we will not feel cold. So wearing more layers of clothing during the winter keeps us warmer than the wearing just one thick piece of clothing. So that's why we have to choose to wear more layer of clothing during the winter season as compared to the one thick piece of clothing, as the air is gets trapped between the two layer of the clothes, and the air is the insulator of air, so it prevents the heat from getting escape from the body to the surrounding, so that we can feel warm in more than one layer of clothing as compared to the just one thick piece of clothing. So that's why we are wearing more layers of clothing during the winter to keep us warm. Now next question is question number 6. Here one figure is given to you. So mark where the heat is being transferred by conduction, convection and radiation. We have to mark the mode of different mode of transfer of heat. So let me see the answer. Here as we can see the transfer of heat from pan to water, or water is boiling, so the transfer of heat take place by the process of convection in the water. Then after the pan gets heated, so transfer of heat take place within the water by the process of this convection. Then this pan is get heated by the flame of the burner, that is by process of conduction, and from this pan burner to pan the heat is transferred by the process of radiation. Or if you feel the around the pan, you will find the somewhat hotness, so it is also by the process of radiation. So it is given to you. In the keywords we had also seen that conduction is transfer of heat through the direct contact. That means the pan is get heated by the process of conduction. Then after in convection we had seen that it is the process of transfer of heat through the movement of liquid or gas. So the water gets boiled due to the process of convection, and in the radiation we had seen that it is the process of transfer of heat through the thermal emission or through the rays. So the flame to the pan, the heat is transferred by the process of radiation. So here it is shown to you the different mode of transfer of heat. Now next question is, in place of hot climate, it is advised that the outer walls of house be painted white. Explain why. In the hot climate or places where the hot climate is there, the people are advised to color their outer wall of houses as the white color. Why? So in place of hot climate, it is advised that the outer walls of houses be painted white because white color reflects most of the heat that falls on it, or we can say it absorbs the less amount of heat. As we had seen in the activity that white color absorb less amount of heat and it is approximately reflects most of the heat that is fall on it. So therefore the temperature inside the house does not increase very much because of this hot climate, so that it is advised in the places of hot climate that the outer walls of the house be painted as the white color. Next question, question number 8 is, 1 liter of water at 30 degrees Celsius is mixed with the 1 liter of water at 50 degrees Celsius, and the temperature of the mixture will be, without measuring the temperature, we have to say this answer that we had in the one pan we had the water at the 30 degrees Celsius, and in one pan we had the water of 50 degrees Celsius. Now we are mixing these two water. So now what will be the temperature of the mixture of water? So the options are given to you, that is 80 degrees Celsius, 20 degrees Celsius, more than 50 degree but less than 80 degrees Celsius, and option D is between 30 degrees Celsius and 50 degrees Celsius. So your answer is option D. Its temperature will be between 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. Why this is so? Because as we had seen, the heat is transferred from the higher temperature or from the object which has the higher temperature to the object which is at the lower temperature. So from 50 degrees Celsius, the heat is transferred to the water which is at the 30 degrees Celsius. So the temperature of the water which is earlier at the 50 degree, it will decrease, and the temperature of the water which is earlier at the 30 degrees Celsius, its temperature will increase somewhat. So as the resultant, the temperature of the mixture will be between 30 degrees Celsius to the 50 degrees Celsius. So that's why your answer is option D. Question 9 is, an iron bowl at 40 degrees Celsius is dropped in a mug containing water at 40 degrees Celsius. The options are given to you. Option A is flow from iron bowl to water. It will not flow from iron bowl to water or from water to the iron bowl. Option C is flow from water to the iron bowl, and option D is increase the temperature of both. So we had one iron bowl, it is at the 40 degrees Celsius. We are dropping it in a mug which contains the water, and the water is also at the 40 degrees Celsius. So heat will transfer from what to what? So your correct answer is option B. Heat will not flow from iron bowl to water or from water to iron bowl. Why? Because both the objects are at the same temperature, that is 40 degrees Celsius, and we had seen that the objects which are at the same temperature, the heat transfer will not take place between this or those two objects. So that's why heat will not flow from iron bowl to water and water to iron bowl. So option B is your answer. Next question D. Question 10. So the question is, a wooden spoon is dipped in a cup of ice cream, and its other end, the options are given to you, becomes cold by the process of conduction, becomes cold by the process of convection, becomes cold by the process of radiation, and option D is does not become cold. So your answer is option D, does not become cold. As we had seen that wooden spoon, the spoon is wooden, and wood is the poor conductor, or you can say insulator of heat. So heat will not transfer from this wooden spoon, so the other end of this wooden spoon will not become cold. So The answer is option D, does not become cold. Last question, question 11. Stainless steel pans are usually provided with copper bottoms. And the reason for this could be that if you had observed, then stainless steel pans had the bottom of copper. Why this is so? See, the options are given to you. Option A is copper bottom makes the pan more durable, that means long lasting. The option B is such pans appear colorful. For the colorful look, we are giving this bottom as the copper. The option C is copper is better conductor of heat than the stainless steel. And option D is copper is easier to clean than the stainless steel. So your correct answer is option C, that copper is better conductor of heat than the stainless steel, and the main purpose we are using the pan is to cook food or to get heated up. So if we are putting or keeping the bottom of the stainless steel of copper, then it will get heated up fastly or quickly. So that's why stainless steel pans are usually provided with the copper bottom. So our answer is option C. So here the textbook solution of our chapter 4 gets over. In the next video, we will see the extra exercise for this chapter. Thank you.